Hey, good morning, everybody. How you guys doing this morning? Man, this is like the slowest morning. Excuse me. The slowest morning this week. Yeah, we played CSCO yesterday. All right. We don't really have, I mean, the scan is like, our main scan is dead. And I can hang a RIP sign on it and drop it in the ground. All right, so this IOVA, this one is more than likely being pumped. Let's look at it real quick. It's more than likely being pumped. After the close yesterday, it came out some positive drug trials. What it boils down to, typically, we see these, make a run and then they turn out to be a short at some point. But I don't like, I tend to stay away from these guys that are being pumped, and unless I'm really familiar with these things. Because a lot of times it creates that excitement and everybody's all over it. And you end up being on the wrong side of things. You see, honestly, that's what gets people interested in trading. You think you're gonna be, a day trader. You're gonna be in and out of stocks all day. There are some people that do that, but most of the professionals, especially the professional, independent, or the retail traders, they don't do that. They realize really early on trading like that makes absolutely no sense. So we are looking for momentum, but for the most part, we're looking for some controlled momentum. We're not looking for stuff that's just completely, out of whack here. Here's the high that it put in on that initial jump. looks like we may be taking that out. I don't know. It's going to need some more volume to drive this volatility. But you guys that are looking for those $10 to $40 stocks, this would be one you would want to put on your watch. But you really would have to be careful with it, because this thing, you see the float's not really that bad on it. But if enough people, get involved in this thing could get volatile really quick. So you definitely would have to be careful with this one. So this looks like it's got some pretty good opportunity right here. And the other reason I don't like really lower price stocks is because you have to size up. And for me, sizing up, I'm not comfortable trading with larger sizes, especially day trading. So that's why you see me really pick the larger stocks, the higher price stocks that can give us 5-6 point moves, with 300 to 500 shares, you're gonna make some good money. All right, so we'll look at IOVA. You guys that are looking at the lower price stocks, that would be a good watch. It's not my favorite catalyst, but it usually gives good shorting opportunities, once the honeymoon is over. But just depends on how much pumping this thing gets. This thing has. So we'll look at that one. WMT, Walmart. This one's on earnings. Now, Walmart has never really been a good mover for me once the market opens. Never really been a good mover for me. So I will have to be, I'm going to be a little bit reserved on this. See, this one is outside of the 52-week range. Yeah, but we've got some room to the upside. And it's looking pretty strong. So definitely we'll put it on watch. It's got the right catalyst. We've got windows of opportunity. And that's one of the main things we look for. Once we see a stock on our scans and it has a good catalyst, then we look for the windows of opportunity between levels of support and resistance, whether it be pivot points from the daily chart or the daily levels or the moving averages, whatever it is, we're looking for some opportunity, some windows of opportunity to make profit. If we don't see those windows, it doesn't really make sense to put the stock on watch, because there's no opportunity to make money. Now, yes, sometimes those that don't show opportunity end up making explosive moves, but that's going to happen every now and then. That's not something that you're going to be able to base, your strategy off of. All right, so Walmart, we've got some nice windows here. We'll keep that on watch. CSCO, this was the one that I told you guys we were watching on earnings yesterday. We ended up catching the earnings trade. It pretty much played out exactly the way I was looking for it to. So you guys that haven't seen the recap video, I went through this in detail as to what I was looking at. So this morning, we don't really have a whole lot of volatility. It's pretty much, trading sideways, not really making much noise. So this one, I think, has a higher float. So because of that, the moves are going to be limited. 4 billion share float, 4.5 billion share float. So it's going to take a lot of volume to actually give this a decent move. So there's really no way I can put this on my watch. Really no way I can do it. It just doesn't seem like it has anything in this. Now, if it makes a big move early and catches my attention, yeah, it could be a secondary trade. We can get it for some trend continuation, but I doubt that it's going to put that kind of move in. NVDA. This is another one. This one isn't really making much noise right now. I think this one reports after the close, does it? Yeah, reports after the market closes. And this is just like CSCO yesterday. It was moving early. There was some news article on it that had it moving a little early. This one, it may give us an opportunity this morning. This is one NVDA can really kick up and give us some good moves. Look at the ATR on this is $6.92. So definitely can move, and we may see some moves in this, some volatility in this leading up to the earnings announcement this afternoon. So let's see where we're at. And this is, I've got all of these lines are on here from, previous times. So I may just start a new drawing set. Yeah, I better clear it because it's not working. So I'm going to clear this. What I typically do is just start from scratch. Whenever I get a whole bunch and it makes it look like a mess, I'll just kick it all out here. So let's see, NVDA. We're trading around this level here. Yeah, it looks like we've got some traffic that we're dealing with. Wow. Damn. $165. I mean, with the ATR, this one isn't out of range. 165.46. And that's going to be the 90-day. So we do have some windows. We do have windows of opportunity here. Yeah, we're just in an area where we've got a lot of price action. But when you look at it on a daily chart, it looks really crowded. When you spread it out and it's laid out on a 5-minute chart, you see these huge windows of opportunity. So definitely we'll put NVDA on. Let me see if we got shares of this to short too. Yep. So we'll put NVDA on watch. Here we've got IQ. See what IQ looks like. It doesn't have much of a gap either. NVDA didn't have much of a gap, only 20 cents. IQ doesn't have much of a gap. PINS doesn't have much of a gap. None of these are showing much at all. Let's see, QIWI is on 126, but these don't have any volume right now. Yeah, this NVDA doesn't have much of a gap right now, but this thing can put in some moves. All right, so we picked up a couple more here on the scan. Let's go back to this before we go to the downward earnings scanner. So MGNX, it is this one, another positive drug report. Another positive drug test results is what's got this going up. MGNX. This one's on margin restriction on SureTrader. So whenever something's on margin restriction, I tend to stay the hell away from it. MRTX. That usually tells me that it's manipulated. If the king manipulator thinks it's manipulated enough to be on short sale on margin restriction, then that tells me I need to stay away from it. So MRTX, let's see what that comes up. What that says. What's going on with this? Yeah, it looks like it's just following. It's probably following stocks in this sector. I don't see substantial um, any substantial catalyst in it. So it may just be a follower. Let's see, in PLYM, this one's a secondary offering or some type of offering, so I don't really trade those. So we already looked at NVDA. We've got that on our watch. This one, you can see a minute ago it was up here. Now it's down here. So it's gonna have some volatility today. We'll just have to keep our eye on it. BOXL, none of these have any volume right now. Absolutely nothing. So, like I said, it's kind of a slow morning here. Maybe we'll get some good volume coming into the market, and we can get something going here. So let's see. So right now I've got 2 of them here that I can watch. It is tradable for me. Looks like NVDA is getting ready to start making this move early, which is typical of what stocks are doing now. That's why hopefully once the summertime hits and I'm not having to take my son to school every morning, we can get locked into these pre-market moves. I can't do it. I can't really trade pre-market now because I'd be out of sync. I'd be rushing to get back here at 8 o'clock, and I won't have any prep time in. So if I'm here all morning, all I have to do is go to the gym and get back. I'll be back in plenty of time to get ready for this pre-market stuff. And there's this one guy I work with. He's done by 10 o'clock every morning. Because he trades the pre-market using that continuation strategy that I like. And sometimes he doesn't even trade the open. He gets a monster trade pre-market. Forget about it. But now that more traders have access to pre-market, you're gonna see more volume and some decent moves pre-market. is NVDA. It is starting to sell off. The spread's it's a little spready here. About, 34 cents, 35 cents. Which means the way you combat stocks that have a lot of spread and manage your risk is you have to trade smaller size. It's the only way you can manage your risk on a stock that's really spready. It's still a little bit more of a risk to trade these stocks, but you can manage it. Well, pre-market isn't as risky as it used to be. Pre-market is actually trades pretty good. But like anything else, you got to have stocks that have volume. If you can't trade pre-market on a stock that doesn't have volume, because then you're asking for trouble. But a stock trading pre-market that has decent volume, it's a really solid trade. And when you see people that's actually trading it, and being consistent with it, it's not really a one-time thing, or it's not really a just a short-term deal that it is going to continue. But I've been seeing it for years. I've been seeing that pattern develop for years. See, IOVA, this one is nice. So they made a nice move off of all of this support. Really nice. It broke the high it put in yesterday on that news announcement, or that news release. And so, Steve, this is what I mean. But you've got a lot of potential. Between here and here, you've got pretty much a point. This is a $14 stock. Even with a small account, you can trade 500 shares of this. You scale out 500 shares on a point move, you can pick up $250 to $300 depending on how you scale. And the reason why I scale out is I like to lock in profit along the way. And once you lock in that first profit, it takes a lot of the mental energy that you would have in a trade. It kind of just eliminates a lot of that. Because once you've locked in profit, you're not going to lose on this trade if you execute properly. Obviously you're going to have to stop. If it comes back, you want to stop out at break even so you don't end up losing whatever you locked in. Because the name of the game in a small account is growing it. We don't want to live here. We want to grow it, and we want to be responsible, and we want to get out of these brokers that are catering to us as soon as possible. Because it's obvious that they work the same way everything in this world works. People that have, like here in the United States, people that have, bad credit, they're going to get taken advantage of. Because just because we're starting with smaller accounts, we don't have the money to get a traditional account. We're getting taken advantage of. But we don't have to stay there. We can improve. We can improve our position. And by, trading smart and having the mindset of growing our account, we'll get out of it. Now, obviously, once your account is established, you're going to change some things up. You're going to incur a little bit more risk because you're at that point. You're a professional, and you're at that point where you should have the right discipline, and you should be able to execute your trade plan, whatever it is, without question. And you're able to read price action so that if something is not right, you're able to make a good judgment call. And it's not based on fear or greed or anything like that. It's based on you reading that price action. And that's what this is all about. So our number one priority in trading a small account is to grow. And I've actually had a couple of guys who became consistent, was making, $300 to $700 a week on a consistent basis. But they were pulling their money out and spending it. So how are you ever going to get out of here if you spend all the money you wire out? So you got to put that money up. You got to put it in an account. You got to save it so you can get out of this. You don't want to stay in this mess, I promise you. These brokers that cater to smaller accounts, they have a and what's going on with this stuff? They have a okay, there we go. They have their special place. We need them. Like for me, if I didn't have anybody that I could have traded with the money I had when I first started, I wouldn't be here right now. No, I wouldn't have made it. So these guys, they do have a special place for people like us who started with nothing. Who was living paycheck to paycheck. And it's not, and a lot of times, not just living, floating. You're floating from check to check. Meaning you're already, the money that you're making on this paycheck's already spent. You're just floating it. It's a humbling experience when you go and you're sitting in a bankruptcy court. Because you have to try and restructure your finances so you can just stay afloat. It's all of that stuff. It's a humbling experience. And yeah, people take advantage of people who get in that situation, but we don't have to accept it. We don't have to stay there. We can work our way out. That's what we're doing. But it takes a little bit of hard work, grit, determination, and takes discipline. But we could do it. That's what I'm trying to show you guys every day. You can work your way out of this. part of this roadmap to success, part of when we're gonna start, we're getting into the execution phase, and part of what we're going to be covering later on in this year is how to save. I had to wait until I took the test so I could get my license, so I could actually give financial advice. Now I don't want to give it if I'm not certified to give it. So we'll be talking about how you can set up your accounts. Like when you wire money out, what do you need to do? Because like the very first year that I was trading, man, that I got the IRS nailed me. Because I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing. But once you figure it out and you have a process, you're going to be good. All right, so we're going to lock in this watch list here. Not a very big one. And unless something pops up, it's going to be a slow morning here. Let's see, watching. So we've got IOVA. Now remember, I'm not going to trade IOVA. That's kind of not in my wheelhouse. Let's see. And I think, those of you that are trading the lower price stocks, MGNX may offer you an opportunity. It's gonna have to, pick up some volume. People are gonna have to get interested in trading it. Right now, I don't see a whole lot of interest in it, but it's gonna have to be more interest in it. CSCO is kind of flatlining. It doesn't really have much. It's starting to sell off now. So, if it opens itself up, then that'll be a good trader. So we'll add CSCO. It's got to pick up some interest right now. I mean, it's sold off okay. It's only sold off about 20 cents. So it's not a big move, but the fact that it did make a little move is going to peak out interest a little bit. It's just like Walmart. Walmart, WMT, I just don't. I've never had it make solid moves, but it's actually looking pretty decent pre-market. It's always looked decent pre-market, but it's always looked good pre-market, but when the market opened, it just kind of flatlined. It didn't really do much. All right. Yeah, I don't know if I want to chase QCOM again. I was chasing it a little bit yesterday, and it burned me. So I don't know if I want to chase QCOM again. All right, so let's get logged in and start um, marking up our charts here. Get ready to rumble. Get ready to go. Ready to rumble. Yep. CSCO. I mean, it could be getting ready to give it up. Could be getting ready to give it up for sure. QCOM has news today. Don't tell me that. Y'all just trying to make me. Y'all know what y'all trying to do. Hold on, one of my charts didn't populate. Y'all know what y'all trying to do to me. Y'all want to see me get beat down again this morning, right? Y'all's day is not complete unless I get beat down. Let's take a look at what this is doing. God damn, man. You see, I never would have looked at this. Now I gotta watch it. Y'all know certain tickers turn me into a degenerate trader. You know, these certain tickets, man, they get me. So I've got to wait until the open and see how this thing measures up. Let's see. I'm gonna have to get this chart squared away here. So it's actually 84.21. $84.21. And 82.26. 88.63. So we got some. I mean, this thing has some huge windows to work in. Huge windows to work in. So 85.31 is the 20 from the daily. This is the daily 20. All right, so we've got that one laid out. Let's take a look at NVDA. It's the other one that I like. And I think that one is in a huge huge window. NVIDIA. $151.10. I can't see this at all. I mean, we're in a pretty decent window here. But not a whole lot of support or resistance. All right. We got that one. Let's take a look at so we looked at QCOM. Man, this is what I tell you guys about pre-market. Look at all of these stocks that we look at every day. And look at the huge moves it puts in pre-market, like starting at 8 o'clock. And how good that price action is. This is unreal. $102.35. $102.35. Where's the next one at? I need to check that. I need to check that one. All right, so what I like to do, I don't know, the strategy that I implement is I like to wait for the first 5 minutes to put in. Now this summer we'll probably be moving. I practically made the decision that I'm going to be moving to the 3 minute versus the 5 minute, when during the summertime. But I wait for that first 5 minutes to, candle to print, and then I start trading off of it. It's 101.94. I don't know where I got that from. $102.75. 380. I don't know if I can fit that or not. Let's see. Yep. And that's hard. Watching, sitting here for the first 5 minutes and watching the volatility, watching the stocks move, even sitting here pre-market and watching these stocks move like like QCOM. I mean, watching it just sell off pre-market. And it just makes you want to jump in. It's like you don't want to miss that move. You get that fear of missing out. And you just have to jump in. And it makes it really hard to be disciplined. But that's why, that's what trading these small accounts, that's why it's really good to do this to start with. Because this forces you to learn and develop patience. And discipline. Everything that you're going to need moving forward. All right, 51.12. All right. 52.25. Please repeat what didn't I say? Or what did I say? My mind is and look at this. This thing is gone. 52. I don't know about this. Yeah, you just don't want to jump in. You don't want to do that. That fear of missing out causes you to do that. And that's not what you want to get into. BYND, I have no shares of it to short, so it makes no. That's why I'm not even looking at it at all. I look at the SPY. I do watch the SPY to see what's happening with the overall market. So, I do keep that in mind. I don't have the QQQ up. I just have the SPY up. Yeah, when I look at a stock, yeah, I may have a bias on it. It may look like this CSCO. Going into the open, I may say, hey, oops, I forgot. I do go both ways. I want to see stocks that have the potential to go both ways. Now, we always have a bias as to which way we want to see it go. It's always going to have a more cleaner setup, but this can go either way. I mean, it could be selling off, and then it could turn around and set up to the long side. So I'm going to have a plan either way. I look at both stocks. I look at each stock as, this thing can go either way. I need to have a plan for both directions. Now, some days, like if the market's selling off real hard, I may not want to go long. It may just be what I want, how I feel. But if you look at these stocks we got on watch now. CSCO, NVDA, both of these just made a pop going into the open. And look at QCOM. It didn't do that. At least not yet.
Do I take my car?
Yeah. All right, we're off. So, like I said, this could be the hardest part of the day. Sitting back and waiting for this first 5 minutes to kick in. Because too often what happens, we sit there and we feel like we're missing a move. We know what move we want, but we feel like we're missing it. Just like right now. You had a lot of people that play the pre-market low. Once it cracks the pre-market low, they're jumped in. They jumped short on this. But look how volatile this thing is. Look how volatile NVDA is. So once it takes out the pre-market low, we know it's clear. If it sets up short, we may have a clean move. Let's look at CSCO. This one blew over pre-market.
IOVA.
It blew over the pre-market high. And it's running on the first candle. It's just flat running on that first candle. So this is where we may want to switch to a 3-minute chart. If it breaks the 3-minute opening range low, then we are in. But what I've been seeing a lot So we've got a lot of activity going on right now. And what I've been seeing lately is that the 3 and the 5 almost just kind of set up the same way. So we switched to a 3-minute chart. It's still, it still hasn't broken it. So like I said, having that patience.
IOVA.
And letting everything play out. All right, so now this thing has a longer width almost than the body. Has a pretty big width on it. So things are still a little volatile here. There's still no trade on this for me until we crack that. So the 3-minute opening range low and the 5-minute opening range low lined up. So what we're doing is we're looking for the break of it. And there is no trade until we get that break. And I'm kind of spot checking everything. CSCO. We are about all right, so we broke the 5-minute opening range on it. That's an entry trigger. That's the 5-minute opening range high right there. So what we're looking for is it to get a push off of this.
IOVA.
Oh, come on, computer. I guess I'm doing too many things on my computer. Streaming. So 56, the next level on this is around 56.10. So we're going to see, where we're going to go. See if we can get up through 56.50.
IOVA.
We can get up through 55.50. Will be a good it's having a hard time making that move. Shoot, man. It's having a hard time pushing. Come on, baby. It found some resistance at 55.25. It found some resistance at 55.25. And then all of a sudden, the deviation band closed up on it. It ran into it right up here. Right there. It was off to a good start, but it ran into that wall right up there around 55.25. I mean, you could see it. You could see them coming in on level 2. You see the orders going through on time and sales. So it seemed pretty strong. I don't know if we're going to be able to break through that or not. That's going to be the question. That's going to be the $1 million question. We started out this market with some pretty good volatility, but shit, it's not even 15 minutes in and it's gone. It's already gone. Man, this is too early for summertime trading. Way too early. So let's have some patience. Let's see if we can break through this level. Finally. And I want to take some off up through 55.50 if we can get there. It's killing it. Maybe if I give it a target to hit. Maybe that's what it needs. Maybe it needs a target. All right, this is something for you to reach for. This is a target. This is a goal. So impress me. Hit your target. You know, maybe this is one of those stocks that it's got to have a goal. But there's just some, there's some killer resistance here. Killer. Maybe we can get through it. Maybe we can't. But remember, I think this, let's see. You know, we got to remember this CSCO is a 4 billion share float stock. So it's got, in order for it to go, it's got to have some kick. It's got to have a really big audience. And we're not getting it. It can't break through this. Damn. It can't break through that wall, man. Damn, this sucks. No, it's not. I don't think it's gonna flag. It's, if you're looking at looking at the price action when you get up there, and when we broke through this level, it triggered a whole lot of selling. You know, this is a big ceiling here. This is solid. Almost like they made that ceiling out of steel. Laced with kryptonite, so Superman can't break through it. This is sad. This is just like what you deal with in the summer. Let me look. Let me look at this daily chart. Maybe I missed something. I don't know. I don't think so, because there's not a whole lot of stuff up there. I didn't think I missed anything. And this was, I know it had cleared all of this. But we're not getting the buyers.
OSTK.
We're just not getting the buyers. Damn. And I don't see anything at 25. It just has to be that $250 mark where everybody decided to sell. But this is just a classic case of you got a solid setup that out of nowhere it runs into some resistance. There's no technical level. There's nothing there indicating that we're going to run into this at 55, between 55.25, 55.28. It just runs into it. You know, somebody's just sitting there in the middle of nowhere doing their thing. And this is typical. There's no explanation for it. And if you sit here and try to find a reason to figure out why too long, it's going to drive you crazy. You know, the thing is, unless we're in the know, unless we're sitting right there next to these guys that are doing this trading, we don't know what's on their minds. You know, we don't know what their strategy is. All we can do is just trade what we see. Try to trade the price action, try to trade, you know, what we see.
House.
So this is the boring part.
TWLO. House.
Man.
MSFT. TWLO.
But this is the time, it's action like this is what causes us to make bad decisions. You know, we get frustrated. We want things to move quickly. We want things to work out. We want them to resolve. And when we sit here and wait, then we'll start chasing something that's moving.
House.
I hope we got an army of buyers here that can explode this thing up at least through 55.55. That's what I'm looking for.
TWLO. MSFT. House.
I'll tell you what, if I knew who this bastard was, he wouldn't be safe anywhere. He couldn't hide from me. Because I'd be knocking on his door saying, what the hell are you doing? Just let my people go. Look at it. It's coming back again. I just don't get it, man. Whoever that jackass is, he's got his stuff together. Look at all of that selling coming in. Look at it.
House.
As soon as it got close, all of that selling came in. I could see if I was trading some big size where he could make some money off of me. These people can't make a damn penny off of me. Man, it needs some volume. It needs more people. It's not too crowded. It needs some more people. We need some more buyers. I need a volume boost here. Because it's a 4 billion share float stock. So we gotta have some people in this to drive the price. And we're not getting it. So whoever this dude is sitting here, I guess he knows that, hey, they just don't have it. I need some big bank to come in and start buying this thing. No, WMT isn't even over the 5-minute opening range high yet. It hasn't even broken that. So for me, it's going to take a little bit more. You see, the opening range high is right here.
House.
The opening range highs right here. It's just too close to these two levels for me to get long. For me, I would have to get through all of this. I wouldn't want to take the risk and buy into that. That's kind of what my issue would be.
IPHI.
So I would be getting ready.
IPHI.
I'll be getting ready once it cracks through this. Man, what is wrong with me this morning?
House.
Yep, see, it's trying. Remember yesterday how we got in that trade? We jumped in a little early on the bounce. And it was it yesterday or the day before? And it got slapped back at the 5-minute opening range. So I would want it to break through that. I wouldn't want to buy it into that. You know, that's what I would be looking at right now.
IPHI. PG.
I've actually got both, Sean. Excuse me. Damn. I use TD Ameritrade for my charting and, analysis and stuff. But what I'm streaming is my SureTrader platform. That shows, the trades and stuff.
IPHI.
Man, this stinks. This CSCO had some decent potential, but it just didn't happen.
IPHI. PG.
Yeah, so now Walmart's in play. If I wasn't stuck in this damn piece of crap CSCO, I could give it a run. You might get a squeeze here on IOVA. I know you got a ton of people short. So you may end up with a squeeze. Man, it's funny how my phone asked me, was I asleep between this time and that time? Well, we picked a loser this morning. Big time freaking loser.
PG.
Big time loser, man. Big time loser this morning. I knew I shouldn't have traded that garbage. This thing had a 4 billion share float. I should have left it the hell alone.
FTCH. OSTK.
Garbage.
VOD.
Garbage, 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 garbage. I'm throwing it out with the trash tomorrow, that's for sure. Alright, let me put my stop in here. Because it looks like it wants to come back.
GSKY.
Well, shit. But I started yesterday morning off the same way. Failed
VOD.
trade. But yesterday wasn't as clean of a shot as today was. Today was a clean shot. Alright, now I can put it in. Today was a cleaner shot, but it just didn't materialize. We didn't get the move we wanted. We didn't get the buying pressure. Just didn't happen for us. No exciting day here in the market. Not a very exciting day. But what our goal is not to lose
GSKY.
not to lose our shirt. If we have to take a L, then we take
PYPL.
we take a
MSFT.
we take a L that's going to make sense. That's within our risk tolerance. We don't want to sit there and hold it until it blows us up. Oh, you little tick-tock. Tick-tock.
PYPL GSKY.
This is the greatest show. See, Walmart's pulling back to, this will be a good entry point. If you missed it, we may be pulling back.
FTCH.
If it holds this opening range high, it'd be a good place to buy it off of, because you can manage your risk really well here.
MSFT. PYPL.
Yeah, this volatility it's not holding it. It's not holding it at all. This market's crapping out. If you didn't grab any profit the first 30 minutes, the chances of you finding a solid move coming out of this, slim to none.
MSFT.
I'll look at PayPal.
GSKY.
See, where's the next resistance on PayPal? Any day now.
TME.
52-week high. So you have to be looking at whole and half dollar marks. Maybe 114 to get a pullback.
FTCH. VOD.
Yep. So just have to sit back and wait
GSKY.
and see if the market's gonna present anything to us. Right now, it's not. Everything's trading.
MSFT.
It's just trading with no volatility, nothing. Yeah,
TME.
I'm still in CSCO. So if it breaks through this level, then I'll give it some attention. But it's right now it's just butting back up against the level that it's been running into all morning. So I'm just watching my sons. They had a performance the other night, so I'm just watching their performance. Let's see if it's gonna make it up there this time. If it can hold up and make this move, we'll be okay. At least get to my first target. Damn. It won't even let it touch 40, man. Whatever. It's just one of those days. There's nobody with any guts, man. I need somebody that's got guts to buy this thing up, get us to where we need to be. Not sell it off.
VOD.
Oh, shit. But the good thing is this time we did make a new high. So that could be encouraging for the future. We did make a new high. There's no logical explanation for it, Chris. No logical explanation for it. Just happens. Well, it cropped out again, so we'll let it work some more. Nah, the market's always been that way. It's got nothing to do with Trump. The market's always moved the way it's moved. It's the players in the market. You know, that's who dictates what it does. And I know, you know, his tweets and all of that stuff can affect the markets, but it'll do it temporarily. But this is just the way it is. And what's changing from year to year is the fact that technology is changing. So you got more robots trading now than you did a couple of years ago. You know, there's a lot more automated stuff going on. So, you know, that's another thing that, you know, that we're up against and that we're looking at.
VOD.
Well, let's put our target back in there. See if it's gonna hit it. It's all in this together. And you guys know how you hear a song and it just like stays, it gets in your head and it just stays there? That's what I had with my son's chorus. I mean, they did this thing. It just, they started out with "This is the greatest show," and it was really good. And that song just stuck in my head. It's going on a couple days now. It's just stuck inside my head. It won't go. And then they finished up with "We're All in This Together" from High School Musical, and that was awesome. But it just stays in it stays in your head. Oh, Giselle, we don't want red. Look at this. We don't want red. Well, next time tell Red he's not invited to the party. Just tell him he's not invited to the party.
Mose.
Just send him packing.
EGHT.
Shit. I gotta fill that back up.
ZM.
Let's see if it can push up, man. This thing's got to go. You know what? I'm tired of it. If it pushes up there again, I'm going to try to sell it. We got buyers coming in. There we go. I sold half of it here. What? At 51, just over. So I'm happy with that. Put my stop back in. Stop's going to be back at 55.15 to allow for some slippage in case it comes crashing back down.
ZM.
So let's put another order out at 55.95. All right, so a little bit of patience goes a long way. So we did finally hit our first target. Let's see where we're going to go from here. Looks like we do have some resistance around this 55 area. So let's see what it goes. Thanks, Matthew.
ZM.
But that's what it's gonna take. That's what it takes to make it in this industry. When you lose that discipline, it's gonna kill you. I mean, we can cry, bitch, moan, and complain, phone a friend, do whatever we want to do, but as long as we stay disciplined, we're good. It's when we lose that discipline, it's when we lose control.
CSCO. MDB.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I hope y'all don't hear that. I'm sitting here eating a piece of corn I cooked yesterday. I'm leaving this level out because I'm going to see if this actually flips to support here. So I'm going to leave that hanging. Ah, 114.50. There's just not enough room up there to mess with it right now. You know, I tell you, in my heart, I thought this trade was done. When it tried for like 20, 25 minutes to break through this level and it just couldn't do it. But when it held VWAP and that opening range high, it picked up some strength. Now whether we can make it to the next level or not, up around 55 or 80, that remains to be seen. And it could be a slow grinder up all day, especially with the market being up. It could be a slow grinder up, with a couple of pullbacks. But this is a really high float stock. And so these are, you can find some volatility on these in the morning, early around the open. But when it gets later in the trading day like this, these stocks don't typically move very fast or very far.
MDB.
the lesson here, guys, is just, knowing the stock's not going to do what you want it to do when you want it to do it. We can bitch, moan, complain, do whatever we want to do. As long as we stay disciplined and have patience and the trade is still technically in play, you got to let it work itself out. I mean, if it goes back the other way, it goes back the other way. I mean, there's no guarantee that your strategy is going to work every time. Anybody that guarantees you that selling you oceanfront property in Arizona. So there is no guarantees on anything. Now, our strategy has an edge. It gives us an edge or an advantage that, the trade is most likely going to go in this direction based on, everything that we do up to the point of taking that trade. From the scanning that we do to identify the trade, the vetting process where we identify whether this stock has the potential to give us a profitable move or a move that would be profitable enough for it to make sense. To it setting up on the chart and us executing the trade. Man, I'm going to eat all this corn today. Man, I can't get none of it. Damn, this stuff is good. Now I'm a corn eating fool. Or elotes for my canales out there. That's what I'm talking about, Chris. Mayo, cheese, chili powder. And a little bit of lime. I can eat elotes all day long. so good. That's good stuff. Let's fire up a little bit more. Let's fire up a little bit more. And Walmart crapped out too. But like I said, in all the years I've been day trading, Walmart has never been a good trader once the market opened. It's always been frustrating. The NVDA, that one, never did set up short. Never did break the 5-minute opening range low. And then on the subsequent pullback, it made a higher low. And it's just trading through this doggone all the moving averages and everything. And now it's over that 160.15 level. It looks like it wants to push. Yeah, man, I'm firing up another piece. That stuff is too good. I can't walk away from it. If y'all have ever seen that Nacho Libre movie, I'm Esqueleto with that corn. That is me all day with that corn. Hey, save me a piece of that corn for later. Yeah, I think my 55-90 target's really too aggressive. I think 55-75 is more realistic. Because if it can't get that on this push, I don't know what it's going to do. Gotta warm it up just a little bit more. You're watching the same thing. If you're in the chat room and you're here on YouTube, you're watching the exact same thing. One might be a little. I think YouTube is a hair like a couple seconds behind the chat room. So you get to see things twice. All right, you see the volatility we're picking up. Look at all these orders going through. We triggered something. When it ran up to around 55, what was the highest? It got to 68. I mean, and it triggered some fire. That's you on YouTube. See, look, it triggered something when it hit 68. And it just woke up. So if you're reading price action, that's how you can tell when you hit a level. You may not have like the level drawn on your chart or anything like that, but when you see price action all of a sudden pick up and you see all these orders start to go through, you know you're hitting a supply zone or a level, a support or resistance, whatever. Because you'll see all of these orders start running through. You'll see them start to show up on level 2, and then you'll start to see a whole bunch of orders going through on time and sales, just like what you're seeing. Then when I'm looking at on time and sales, I'm looking at the price that the orders are going through. I'm looking at the quantity, and I'm looking at the color. So all of that's going to tell me, what's going through. Are we getting a ton of sell orders? Are there a bunch of sellers? People dumping their position, they're taking profit up here? Or did it trigger a bunch of buy orders? It's giving me a good indication that something's about to happen here. Either we're gonna pop in a minute, or we're gonna start pulling back. See, we just hit 69. We raised the high a day by 1 cent. So we're gonna blow through this. Now, if we can pop, it's gonna hit my 75 order, and I'm gonna be in pretty good shape. But if these buyers get taken out and this thing starts to sell off, I might not make 75. And we're coming up on our lunch hour, man. I'd love for this to resolve before we sign off and head to lunch. But today is a clear example of a day where we just didn't have the volatility in the market. It kind of showed signs of it coming into the open, and the opening candle pretty much on everything. But the volatility started to go away really early today, which was surprising. And right now we're just running on, regular market momentum. There's just no volatility in anything. So this is just the normal activity of the market that we're dealing with right now. And it doesn't really give explosive moves. You're not going to find that home run trade when the volatility is this low. We get the base hits, and we can make money off of base hits. We're we're growing our account. We're playing small ball, and we'll take the home runs when they come. We'll definitely take the home runs when they come. But we're playing small ball here. That's how we're growing our account. See, we keep getting to the same spot. Just can't break through. Yeah, I don't always trade with the market because the stocks I trade are going to have their own catalyst. And stocks with their own catalyst will trade against the market. So it just depends. Sometimes if I'm trading a stock that doesn't really have its own catalyst that's going to follow the market, then I'm going to be all in with it. Come on, let's hit 75. Stay alive. Ah, you little tick turd. It's trying to inch its way up there. I was thinking once we broke through 70, we get a quick pop up there, and I could get hit. But we're not getting that. But that's the only time. One more cent.
GT.
There we go. Bing. Ding, 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 ding. Now I got you. Now I'm ready to go. All right, so my stop order is going to be back at 55.25 on this last piece, and we're just going to let it run. We're going to let it run the rest of the day. We got a decent base hit. We're not red on the day. We're adding to our account balance. I couldn't be more happier. And that's what we have to do day in and day out. We have to stay disciplined. And if this had gone against us and stopped us out, then so be it. As long as we stuck to our stop, we can come back and make it up, if the market gives it to us. Just like yesterday. I started out with that loss on QCOM, but latched on to Baba, traded it, and we were able to, make it out. My next target is however high it goes. Really, 56.10 would be the ultimate. I wouldn't, if it hits that, then I'm done. But no, we'll see if it can get through there. There's a level here at 55.80, which is why I wanted to take it, right up here where I did. And I had it at 90. I think that was a little bit too aggressive. So I wanted to put it on the front side of it so that we hit it going up. Last week I had a lot of targets that were too aggressive, and it would come within 10 cents of it and it didn't hit. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to go through that again.
GT.
But that's a good way to go into lunch. Now, I don't know what the afternoon is going to bring. It may just be one of these days where we just don't have much happening. But the key is don't force anything. Just because the market's open doesn't mean you have to take a trade. If it doesn't come to you, then walk away. It'll be here tomorrow. All right, guys. I appreciate you hanging out with us today. This is what we do every day in our chat room. It's all about learning. It's all about learning how to execute the strategies. It's all about developing patience and discipline and growing your account so you can grow out of if you're in one of these brokers that cater to small accounts. You want to grow out of that. You don't want to spend your whole life in that fumbling around. It's all about getting out and getting yourself established to where either you want to make a living trading or you just want some side income. Whatever it is that you got, in order to get it, you got to be consistent.
TVPT.
You got to be disciplined. You got to be patient. There's some skills that you have to develop. And that's really what we're focusing on here.
TVPT.
So thank you guys for hanging out. If you're not a member, I got that Roadmap to Success special. That's good to the end of the year. You get in, you sign up for it, you with me for the rest of the year, and you get one mentor session a month. So you can't beat that. You get a couple of weeks free. an extra mentor session. Don't think you can beat that. So thank you guys for hanging out, and we will see you next time.